Hi, this is Phyllis with Phyllis Finds. Today I'm coming to you with a little crafting, paper crafting video, some tips and tricks, and a small haul. So first off, was at Joann's and bought some things that they had on sale and on clearance. So I thought I'd show you some of the things that I picked up. One of these things was this wood ephemera. These are actually made from slices of wood. It really is hard to tell, but they have printed on some of them. And they're really kind of neat to look at because you can see the wood fibers in there. I did already buy one package before. These, let me show you. Are very thin, but almost, they're wood. This one's been printed with the leaves. These are all thin layers of wood that have been printed. So some of them are very curly. I figured on these I would probably take and maybe put them in a little bit, spray them with a little bit of water and flatten them between some books and see if we can get them flat. The other package that I had bought previously was not as curled, so they're pretty. In fact, see that one there? It just popped and snapped. So they're kind of really neat to look at and to feel, because they are just a very thin paper-backed piece of wood. I got those. Those were 70% off. I think they were less than $2 for those. I picked up this one here. This is a die set. They have all of their Halloween on sale for 70% off right now. And these I thought were super cute. I like the little ghosty in there. I like the bat, the spider webs. The pumpkin, he's okay. He's not as cute, but the skelly, he's cute. And he has the cross bones. These are by American Crafts. And so they're Happy Halloween. I also picked up these two cling stamps. Now both of these were $3 something for each one. Regularly $15. This one here is the fall with the swirling leaves. Nice thing about these is you can just use part of the stamp if you want to pad down and stamp. You don't have to use the whole thing, but you can select what sections you want, or you can use the whole thing. This one was also fall, but this has got poinsettias on it, pine cones, holly berries. So this is more Christmas than it is fall and Halloween. So that's why I picked it up. But it was also 70% off. I also picked up the last one of these. This is Farmstead Harvest. It is some ephemera with the fall. There's some vellum pieces on here. These are also by American Crafts. There's 64 pieces in there. This kind of shows you some of the stuff that is on there. And the last thing I picked up was this stamp set here. Now it's a stamp and die. I've already opened it up and used some of them. Kind of show you some of the things that I've already punched out and was playing with the stamp. Colors. This is what you can do with some of your scraps. Now I don't know about you, but I have a lot of little scrap pieces of cardstock, little bits and pieces, the tops of your paper pads, like these. They come with these little strips at the top. You usually don't use them with anything, but I have taken them and am using them and cutting them out. So like there's one that I haven't done. And I've used them to make these little banners. Just using the little scraps and bits that you have. So these make great little ephemera just by using some of your dies. And this set comes with all of these different dies. So there's the butterfly, and there is a stamp that goes with it. There's the flower stamp that goes with it. Of course, it comes with the little leaves. They're attached to it, so you'd have to cut it out, color it, or cut it out in greens. There is the heart. It also has a stamp. The tickets. Now I did some with the Admit One, but there's also this other stamp that you can use for it. I haven't done this little die yet, but it's a picture frame, and then there's also a stamp for leaves there, and then there's also this stamp with flowers and leaves. There is the word hello, which you could put on this as well for the tag. And then there is this swan down here at the bottom. I haven't used that one yet. But this one I got, it's a new sketchbook. It's one of the groups that they have that has paper pads and open stock paper and ephemera. This one I used a 60% off coupon on, and I've been using these little dies to make all of this little ephemera. So that's one of the things I've been working with. But I thought I would go over some of the things that I use when I am die cutting. So now I have my Sizzix Big Kick in here. Here's the 2 plate mats on there. And one of my favorite tools is Magic Mat. The Magic Mat is something you can get from scrapbook.com. I just got a new one because my old one is starting to warp. I have to put some heat to it, but it is a well-loved mat. So I bought a couple new ones. They came in a 2-pack. So I've got another one that I can use later on. But the nice thing about the Magic Mat is you're not going to use your plates both sides. See, now this one here has imprints from it, but if you use a die, and this is usually what you have to use for sandwiching your dies, is 2 of these plates, you end up warping and cutting and, ruining the plate in no time. So the Magic Mat is a great sandwich item for your dies. The other thing I get is I have cut off a piece of this. This here is one of these chopping mats. These are from the Dollar Tree. You get 2 pieces. There's only one left in here because I've already used. But I've cut off the bottom part of this, and I use it as a shim. Now, a lot of times in the past, I've used just cardstock in there. But I've kept this one, and it works perfectly to give that extra that you might need for any die cutting. And I recently got a whole bunch of dies from Temu, and some of them different shapes for tags, little banners, crowns. There's this one was a tear tag. This one is a little stamps and strips. And then I also had gotten this one. Now this one said I had put on there doesn't work, but I have not used it with the shim. So I'm going to test out and see if this will work with the shim. Sometimes you can get these dies and they work great, and other times they don't work at all. Or part of it will work and the other part will not. So one of the things I have, and I'm sure every one of you have, is a box or container of nothing but scraps. And this is one of 2 scrap boxes I have. It has strips, it has colors, it has, you know, things that I've just used on other projects and just tossed in here. Even things like this from a coloring book or coloring pack. There's some in here that I've already die cut out. Probably should pull those out and use them at some point, someplace. There's quite a few of them in here, actually. But a lot of little scraps, little bits, just everything, and including those little strips that you see at the top of cards. At the top of any of the card stock packs. But I thought I'd go through. There's one there. I've even got the embossed pieces that I have. Oh, another tag. But all kinds of scraps. I've just tossed them in here. There's an ephemera. I really should go through this. There's some vintage paper. Rose. That one. Been glued in place. Little pocket. I need to really go through and sort and kind of make some ephemera or do something with a lot of these instead of letting it just sit. So that's today's project here. I'm going to grab some of these scraps that are in here. Even this one. See, I've die cut things out with this one. Just to do some stuff and have it in a container. With these, I can put them in little containers. The photo containers work really great for holding little bits of ephemera, so you can keep the same stuff together. They're, let's see if I've got one here. I don't think I do. The little plastic photo containers. These will fit in there just perfectly. You can put them in Ziplocs if you want to separate each out separately. But it'll make it easier if you, when doing a junk journal or a birthday card, if I can just go in there and grab little bits and pieces that are already cut out and already done to make ephemera. So I'm just going to grab some pieces here. Grab off the side. Set this down. Get this out of the way. We're going to test to see if this is any better with that shim in there. So I place the shim in. Got my magic mat in place. I'm going to drop these guys on top. And let's put her through and see if that makes any difference at all. It is going through a lot tighter. go back. Oh, see, we've already had the one pop. So let's see if that even did any good. Oh, see, so that shim really did work a lot better than the last time I used it. So I'm going to mark on the packaging, use shim, and get that off of there. But this makes a little ephemera pocket. So you have a tuck here, you have a tuck here, and you also have a tuck in here. See, now with this one here, you can also put that aside. We can use that. See if I have any skinnies. Let's open one of these guys. I always use these little clippers, the pliers, to get these off. Start one side. Sometimes they will just twist in place and go pop off. But a lot of times you have to use these to cut through that little wire. And that gets that. You have to take this little thing off down here, and it'll end up in your... I want this little one here in the center. Let's see if I can twist this. There we go. Twisting took it off. Oops, that went flying. Not good. I'll have to find that. Let's see if we can get these guys off. Pair of... You get one, the other one comes a little bit easier. Let's see if they're inside like that. Okay. See if I can get that off. Might not be able to get those off. Oops. Got that one. And got that one. Let's see if we can get this one to go through. Oh, underneath. Flip it over. You always want to make sure you're flipping your top plate every time you do this. That way it keeps it from cupping and warping. So yeah, that works really good. Makes a little embossed stitch going around there. So the nice thing about this is you can pick, I need a bigger piece. I've got a couple more. Use this one. Get that little tab off of there. Might be kind of fun. Now you can use, I just am really careful to put this down, but you can use washi tape. Now, I don't know about you, but I have washi tape that's not necessarily my favorite. It comes in a pack, and there may be some of it that you just would never ever really use. You can always use washi tape to hold it in place. But anytime you're die cutting, there's different techniques that you can use to create your dies. So that works really great. Now you can also use, like this one came with this, the two little pieces. One looks like maybe a cloud and then a moon. You can also use those and go back over and cut out another spot. Or you can use them as the openings to just a piece of paper that you might want to use as a tag. So like this one here, I can put this on here. And can create an opening to use to make a tag, and it makes a unique opening in there. But that's some of the ways you can use those. You can also cut off the corners to make your tag. Oops, not quite right. Anyway, that is another way of doing a tag. And the fun thing about it is once you have all these little die cut pieces, you can add them to your design. And create something more unique. So, let's get these guys. I'm going to create this. And that does a little bit different. Of course, you can go through and ink your edges. Then you have a unique tag that you've made yourself. Put these in a box with a whole bunch of other ephemera tags already pre-done, and you're ready to go. Could easily put butterfly up here. I mean, any of these would work really well. even this one here. In fact, I almost like that. Let's put that on there. This one I cut out this side and then realized it was inked on the other side. That's one of those things where you can just do and create whatever you want. You can take ones that you've already made, like this one here is already made, and add banners to it. You want this one here is one of those top strips that I did a banner, and I could add that to it. You don't even have to have the hole there, or you can repunch your hole at the top. But it creates kind of a unique way of doing and using those little strips. Let's see if I've got... big enough, so let's go to the next size. When you get these dies, it's almost easier just to go through and separate them out and put them in a little Ziploc bag. I have a whole bunch of the little itty bitty Ziploc bags that you use for jewelry or for beads, and then just put them in there, and they are in these little containers. I put my dies, and I put what kind of dies they are. So all tag dies are in this container, and there's everything imaginable, going all the way back to old Cricut dies. And I believe that's where this one came from, was in here. Yes. See, so I've used these. There's other dies I've put on magnetic sheets. That is another way of storing dies, is getting these magnetic sheets. And this one I've just left on the card itself that it came in with the sticky. But you can get the magnetic sheets. I think this one was at the Dollar Tree a while back. But they're just very thin magnetic, and they work really great. They hold everything in place. But, you know, that's one way of using the resources that are out there. See, so now, you know, if I need a tag or something, you know, I've got a place I can go. And, you know, this, I also put the banners in here. I also have this one. This one here has film dies. So it has everything that is kind of like a film, or edges, borders, pockets. That's where I think I had this one. But all of these, and that's where this one was, it's also in there. But all of these were new ones that I just had gotten in. I have cut this one out before. This one is kind of a torn edge tag, and it is kind of neat. But I've got all of these others, and so I'm going to be going through and releasing them from their edges, and then cutting out more dies. It is a way of, like I said, using up that paper that you have. You may not want to use the whole thing. Now, like this one here, I'm going to keep this and use this for a tag separate, or a journaling card separate. But I may not want to use this end piece as part of that. And it is kind of neat how it has the design up here at the top. So doing this is a way of getting through all those scraps and then having something that you can use to put ephemera and pieces and designs in your junk journals, birthday cards, whatever you need to use them for. So this is kind of some of the things that I do to make use, and I'm going to continue to make use of the bits and pieces that I have. I hope that this was a little bit informative for you, and maybe you can get through some of those scraps that you have laying all over and make some stuff that you can use in your junk journals. If you have any questions, just feel free to put a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to answer anything if I know what you want to ask about. I've been doing paper crafting my entire life. My mother started me on doing it, and it has been one of those loves of my life. I also love fabric as well, but that's another rabbit hole we can go down. Anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a message, and also like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.